like if you start singing or drinking live online.
This time it's just tea.
Yes, or water. Let's see how it goes this time. So we wanted to start with cats. So cats is concept, aim, tone, subject matter, and the concept is very nicely explained in the Sagas main rulebook. Sagas of the Icelanders has 3 different pitches. One says it's a Western, like vast frontier, ready to be settled, internal pressure, free settlers, no rules and laws yet settled, and people escape there from elsewhere. However, there are no natives and there's no gold rush. And it's also like post-apocalyptic fiction because it's a vast and harsh landscape, and people are about to build a new society, but like between 2 settlements, there's a lot of space. So you're quite isolated and need to live from what you are. And the third pitch is like fantasy fiction because Iceland is full of fairies and ghosts and gods, and the gods like Odin and the others, they play an important role in the lives and people believed in it. And because we are in the sagas, there are also mystical elements in the game. They are not like so dominant that you throw fireballs at each other, as you can imagine. So it's not, and there are no orcs, but there are ghosts and fairies living with you. And if the fire goes off suddenly while you're sitting together, could be because a ghost just jumped into your house for some reason, because somebody invited the ghost in. Yeah. Okay. So it's fantasy, it's post-apocalyptic fiction, and it's Western. But then again, it's also completely different. We are in 900 AD. Christianity hasn't arrived yet, but will arrive there very soon. People escaped as refugees to Iceland because they were not, many did so because they were not welcomed anymore in their home countries. Like often they were prosecuted in their home countries, and the kings of Norway and where they came from, they were cast out, political dissidents. And just you had these scattered farms, and the ruling class didn't exist yet. There was no standing army. There were these Gothies, which were the priests, and they were meeting in this somehow democratic meetings where they made decisions and acted as judges to settle conflicts and stuff like that.
In Thingvellir, or this is this place where the continental plates are meeting.
Yes, the valley.
Yeah, the valley. Yeah,
they were meeting there. Yes.
Yeah, I remember it.
Indeed, yeah. So we just have 3 hours to play, and not even know anymore. And so I'm still very curious to one day play Sagas as a campaign. The maximum I had was 6 hours of play for one group. Because as a campaign, you would usually play, and the rules are there, to play generations. It's generational play. So you play for 2 sessions, 1 character, and then they usually die, because when winter comes, many people die because the winter is harsh.
Sagas are really, really lethal sagas. Monsters appear and kill.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, can't you have babies in the game? So...
Yeah, exactly. So one move is getting pregnant.
Yeah,
and so you can easily jump to the next generation and continue play. You say, okay, 2 sessions with this generation, and then we play the young generation. However, if you don't have that in mind already, usually even a one-shot can end so dramatically that the homestead doesn't exist afterwards anymore. Okay. So that can also happen. And I also already happened that somebody died after 1 hour into the game, because the game itself can be deadly. I'm a little bit experienced by now, so I can avoid that to some degree. But yeah, as an inexperienced GM with Sagas, you can accidentally easily kill somebody, because there's a move. If you fail on that move, you die. 6 minus on the roll, and you're done.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. If you get some endure grave harm, that is the deadly move. So avoid that move if you are not sure to have enough support by other players. So For the tone is grim. It's about family drama, and we play this farmstead, a little family. There are servants and slaves and children, and which are NPCs in the background. We will also have like 1, 2, or maximum 3 important NPCs, which I use to throw drama into the game. We might have a neighbor homestead, which can produce conflicts. But generally, we are just on this homestead, and the drama will be among the family. It's a lot player versus player.
So we are related to each other. All of us are related, more or less.
More or less. So it could be that one is a visitor. There's one playbook which is like a visitor, for example. But then you come there and you stay there, and it's somehow mysterious why you came to the homestead. But we all live at this one homestead where 20 people maximum live. Maybe 30. Then we are already very large. But maybe we are just 10 people. That would also make sense in our short session we have. Subject matter wise, it's drama. It's, well, because we have gendered playbooks, it's a lot about that you insult people. That's a very important move. If you want to, as a man, you can't talk sense. You can't talk rationally. You can only insult other people. It's the only way you can interact as a man.
Like women, like in real life.
Yeah, women can goad men into action. So, like in the Sagas, they can like try to convince them to do something. They can talk sense, and they can also seduce men to do something. Like,
of course,
they have different ways to make men do things for them. You can do what the other gender can usually only do, but then you're immediately tempting fate. And tempting fate is its own move. When you use that move, it easily happens that the game master gets a string on you in Monster Hearts language. Fate point is the name even. And that is dangerous because I can use it any time to reduce any roll by 1 you make. And that changes the probability significantly.
Yeah.
And the result is never as good as if the right gender does the right move. So you can still do that. However, you roll that with a stat called weird. And there are playbooks who are especially good at weird because they are outside of gender norms. And they have the advantage that because they are somehow flexible, they can the whole time they can tempt fate, and they don't mind because they have a +2 in that state. So they are pretty good in doing everything, actually, which is interesting. Then again, it's also very interesting to be forced to just use your roll books. Because it's a one-shot, I aim to let you roll more often than what we usually would do, because we want to feel the system. So you might think that it's a lot about rolling dice, but that is because I want you to feel the system. I hope that it's okay for you. So usually I would let the role play continue a little bit longer. Here I jump much more earlier in and say, let's go for the dice.
Okay.
It's not because I don't like you to see role playing. Yeah. So there are 4 stats. One is young, which is like how much you're still full of life. Strong, quick, and healthy. There's versed, which means to have life experience. Gendered means how well you fit into your societal expectations, into your gender expectations. And there's weird, which means somehow lucky, out of the norm, you get these things done.
Okay.
And so now you could have a look at the playbooks list. And importantly, there are 2 different files for that, because one file is for the man alone. There's an alternative playbook by Catherine Raymond, who is also in the Gauntlet and who has done this fantastic game Midnight in the Oasis and Red Carnations on a Black Grave. And she has also done an alternative playbook for the man, which I prefer playing because it has a nice opening move.
So it's can you say just in one sentence what's the difference?
We take the alternate man then.
Yeah.
Why is this just because of this opening move?
Yeah, the other man playbook is more like a mini game. You play like a little Settlers of Catan. You have 4 different types of resources, and for campaign play, it might be interesting to collect your resources and spend them. Yeah, you gather sheep to make wool out of it. You can sell the wool for money and stuff like that.
Okay.
For a one-shot, the other playbook is more interesting, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and this is the alternative man playbook, and I would ask one of you to play the man. And it would be good if one of you could play one of the standard women playbooks. So we have both genders represented. It doesn't have to be the woman. It makes most sense, I would say, but you could also play the matriarch. Or maybe a more gendered Seth Connor, which is like the
Priestess.
The priestess, yeah. Like with healing powers and connections to spirits and everything. And I don't mind if we have 2 men and 1 woman, or the other way around.
Yeah.
It is up to you. Does anybody have preferences which playbooks they would like to pick?
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends, since you said you wanted kind of like this one person being like the man and one person like a standard woman, but I kind of like the monster.
Yeah. Then it would be good to have the other characters more in the generals, because the monster is very like an outsider.
Yeah.
The monster is a playbook which was written by Jason Morningstar and added only after the game was out.
Okay.
That's to fetch the theme of Grendel, yes?
Beowulf and Grendel.
Beowulf and Grendel. And I guess. But normally I would say I would play the Shield Maiden, because she has normally the character I like. But that's not a good idea, because then we have no normal woman character, yes?
Yeah, I mean, you could still be the Shield Maiden.
Yeah.
It would
it
be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
Then I would take the Shield Maiden. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everything what I said before about are more like recommendations. You should still pick the playbook you're most comfortable with, and in the end, we will see how the game turns out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you did no pressure on you to pick the man. You as well we could have the Shield Maiden as the boss in the house, for example, because the man just died.
I don't know if it's practical to have the man on board. I would play the man. It's okay for me.
Cool. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, you have the link. So as always with PBTA, there's a lot of checkboxes and pick from lists, and you can enter that into the character keeper. So take your time and enter your character.
Okay.
See what kind of moves you would like to pick. And Judith, don't worry about the man farmstead moves. We go through that together. You don't have to read that yet. So also on the second page there are obligations. You don't need to look at them. A man's moves on the second page on the right column. And then choose one of these are the only real choices, I would say. The other thing we go together.
I'm not really able to enter something. It's not a PDF that can be filled out.
We use the character keeper. I sent here. The link is in the chat here.
Okay. Character keeper.
Yeah. And that should be on edit mode.
Okay, I just found it. I was in the wrong in the wrong chat.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, you're not so used to PBTA, so we may take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I can. Feel free to immediately ask questions. Right now, just there for you. Yeah. So the stats are you pick one of the two lines. And then add 1 point to any of them. And if you look for names, I put the list of names from the book on the NPC tab on this spreadsheet. There's a second tab called NPCs, and there's a list with names.
Oh yeah, I name my head.
Yeah. And with your stats, you pick one of the lines, and then you can choose which of them you raise by 1 point. So you could either get rid of the -1, or put one on +2, for example.
Okay. Okay. We just get one plus one at one stat, yeah.
Yeah. That's your flexibility.
Yeah. No, I have. Oh, sorry.
Then I'm really slow. Sorry.
Judith, can I be your? Is it a good idea to be your?
You're my daughter.
Yeah. Then I need your name.
Hrothgar.
Okay, then I'm Gudrun Hrothgarsdottir.
Where do you enter this? Okay, there.
Yeah,
I'm so slow.
No worries. Yeah, Christian, wait for a short moment before we enter the relationships. You can already think about them, but yeah.
Okay. That's okay. They can enter this later.
Yeah. Pick a move first and your possessions.
Okay.
For the possessions is you get them all.
Okay. We take 2 moves, yes?
It says so on your sheet. On your sheet, it either says take 1 or take 2. It should say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the monster, if I see that correctly, neither gets the man nor the women basic moves. Or does...
Why can I can yes, I can copy.
You... Oh no, you pick if you're female or male. Oh yeah, the monster also has a gender. Now I see it. Sorry.
No, young somehow.
Yeah, the shield maiden gets 2 special moves.
Yeah. So, oh god. Over gaming in PBTA.
Yeah, like as always with a one-shot.
Yeah.
If you pick a special move, which is like how to survive winter or something, we won't get that far, I guess.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to take something which you say, okay, I want to see this in the next 1.5 hours.
Yeah. Next time I have to use my mouse. That's much faster.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
Oh, I have warm cloths. That's good. I will survive the winter.
With warm clothes only here. We need a fire, a hearth fire. So be a girl and lit some fire.
Yeah, the shield maiden, unfortunately, is so bad at gendered things.
Yes. Cannot even light a proper fire when it's wet.
No, I'm bad in this stuff.
When you gain an advantage.
Give me a sword. I like swords. Even with a spear is a better weapon in real life.
Yeah.
Imperials.
Okay, the advancement is not for the first game.
Yeah, this is a like level up.
Okay, yeah. Farmstead. Choose one exceptional feature.
Yeah, and the farmstead, exactly. So you are the man, so you make a lot of decisions here.
So don't talk to you, I just decide this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, you are the man.
I'm the man.
Don't talk, don't try to justify it. It will go wrong, because then you tempt fate already. We create the farmstead a little bit at the beginning together, and then the man makes a couple of decisions. So you can already have a look, like choose one exceptional feature for your farmstead. So that would be nice.
Where everyone already entered the moves? I don't know where.
Yeah.
There on
the
second page.
No, not in the second. You just scroll down, then the moves appear.
Yes.
Are they on the same page? Oh, okay, sorry.
Man's moves. So I copy them. You have both of these.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. You don't need to copy the man's work, because that's the one we will do together.
Okay. So it's Master of the Hearth.
Yeah, and that is about winter time, so it's also not so relevant in our session. If we don't skip forward at some point in time, I have never managed to do that. I always wanted to, but to play 2 or 3 scenes, and then let's say, let's start with a new season. So let 6 months pass. That would be very interesting, but it's difficult, because if you once get into play and you have the first misses in a game, usually you are deep into story and can't skip a season anymore. No, but the man has like one more to choose from this 5 different
I'm not able to copy the text into the boxes. It looks fine for you, but it doesn't look fine with me. When I copy it, it's like that.
I copy when you click the box on maybe this helps, and then you copy in the text fields.
Okay.
Next to FX. Maybe this worked for me, but I'm.
It's magic. It's magic. Okay, and then choose one of these.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm very young, very, very young.
Of course, you're the daughter I had with my third wife.
Yeah, I'm just 12.
Full of life and rebellious, and our monster is an enemy. Yeah. Yeah, the bond thing is the next thing I would explain to you, and then we do the relationships. Or maybe first a couple of elements in the farmstead. Maybe that way around makes more sense. Okay. So, are you all done so far with picking moves and entering your stats? Oh, you already have names. Perfect. Looks good.
I don't have a third move, because that's the first one we do together.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I might be ready.
Yeah.
All right. So bonds is a very important element in play. Bonds are like strings and monster hearts and so on. Sagas was one of the first PBTA games which came out, and so the concept is very simple. You just can give others +1 or -1 on their rolls by spending a bond. That is one way to spend them, and that is very powerful because you do that after they rolled. So if somebody rolled a 7, you could consider how fictionally your character could get into the way and bring them down to a miss. Interesting. Or push them up to a 10 if they rolled a 9. You can even spend several bonds at the same time. And good at +2, +3 even. That even works. The other way you can spend bonds is by asking somebody a question, and they have to answer it honestly. So as players, you answer the question, and it is the name of the move is look into someone's heart. It's a beautiful move. Do you have the link, or shall I share that again to the basic moves? I think it's at the beginning of the character sheets.
Yeah, it's the first slide, I think.
I think the man, it's the third slide for the man. If this is the same, I only opened the man now, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right
common
one.
moves, relationships, female moves, male moves.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. And there, under the common moves is when you look into someone's heart. So I would ask you not to forget that you can use your bonds anytime also for this. And please, for the one who is asked something, make it count. Somebody spent a bond, which is a precious currency.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is asking, is your character speaking the truth? Don't just say, yeah, more or less. But tell them something they wouldn't have learned without spending that. Yeah, if you have, like, take a moment, don't worry about, like, losing time or something. Take a moment to think about how you could make the other player feel good about spending the bond there. It's easy to just skip away from really answering the questions. If you can trust the others to take it serious, that when you look into someone's heart, it's a very interesting way to spend your bond. Especially when you look at a question like, what does your character wish I would do? That is the way how you bring drama into your saga, by giving interesting answers to these questions.
Okay.
The way to gain bonds is to make gifts. And you can easily make gifts, but these gifts should count and they should not be trades. So if you exchange stuff, then it's not a gift. But at any time, if you make a little gift, you gain a bond on that person. And with a bond, you can help them. So it's also good to accept gifts as such. If the gift is not something the other one finds desirable, it probably is an insult, and insults are a very serious thing in this game because they trigger moves and they can end up deadly. When your honor is in question, it's a very important male move.
Here, when your next question.
So you all start with 4 relationships. We only do 3 relationships because we just have a one shot and we don't want to make it too complicated. It makes sense to make these as tightly with each other. So with the 2 other players, I would definitely suggest you to have a bond, like a relationship. Then you start with one bond, one of these currency things. And then the third one could be with an NPC. And we can together think about which NPCs we would like to have in the game, but let's keep it as tightly as possible together. So you're not left with your bond, your relationship at the end. Advancement, so level up in this game works if you rolled a move toward each of your relationships. So you establish these 3 relationships at the beginning and you want to interact with each of them within one session, because then you level up. Also an interesting concept, I think, worth considering for other games.
Yeah.
Because it really keeps you focused on your relationships. Let's have a very quick look at the male, female, in general, at the moves. So very importantly, the female moves, you can entice a man. That is a word I had to look up. This is not directly verführen, it is verlocken in German.
Okay.
Yeah. To make it attractive to do something for the person, for that man. You can only do it to a male character. entice a man. You can't entice another woman. And but you get free hold over them, which are very interesting because both characters can spend them. The man can spend them by giving you worthy gifts, for example, acting in your name and favor. You can use it to give them -1. So the man wants to quickly do as he can, give you gifts and act in your favor to get away from that risk that his holds are used against him. When you lie with a man to conceive a child, you gain a bond with him, and the move then tells us how well the pregnancy goes. The rulebook interestingly says this is I can't exactly repeat it, but you should look it up. It's a very interesting explanation why this is a female move in the game and what the author thought about putting it in. I can't repeat it because I think I would fail on explaining it.
Okay.
Interesting. When you raise your voice and talk sense, very importantly, that's the way to reduce the tension in a farmstead usually. You can give people, again, +1 forward if they act according to your suggestions, and -1 if they do the opposite. So it becomes dangerous to do something what the women in the house don't want. You can also goad a man into action. That is the closest thing you can get in terms of putting their honor in question.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't do that, that is like, are you man enough? This kind of argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The male moves are more action-oriented, so you can consider uneasy situations, which is like the perception role, so to say. You can accept a physical challenge, and you can throw insults at other men, not at women. Women can't be insulted. And very important, your honor can be in question. Whenever you consider your honor being in question, then you roll plus gendered and to see if you're good enough. And these moves sometimes snowball, importantly. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, cool. Okay, this is what we have in terms of our moves. Yeah, and as I said, you tempt fate if you do something out of your gender roles, and if you just do something which is like has to do with spirits and ghosts and stuff like that, and something which is taboo. And if you endure grave harm, then on a miss you die. So be careful if you have to roll that and try to avoid that. Cool. All right, so next I would say let's have a look at the relationships. Noella, do you have a relationship for us, for Solveig? A half-troll?
So I think for the other characters, they were saying that the Shield Maiden was the daughter of the man. Do you still want to do that? So I'm gonna. What?
And it's okay then, yeah. Or do you have another new?
No, I was just gonna say that Solveig is like the older daughter.
Yes, I was thinking about that.
Ah, okay, yeah, cool.
If you're my daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are my sister or half sister?
Yeah, half sister, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call you the object of my ire. Ire is like anger.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've always been I always treasured the Shield Maiden more than the one who's you're run over by a cart, right?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, life is rough and disability is not really accepted, I guess. So you're something like perhaps we kind of loathe you in our we have to take care, but we're not really so much invested and interested anymore. Something like close to rebuking you or something.
Or maybe you just want to ignore me.
Yes.
I have to look this up.
She's there, but we don't look that way.
Leo does no rebuking.
Oh, perhaps it's the wrong word.
Okay. No, okay, but ignoring, I understand. It's okay.
Abweisen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 2 daughters. One with my first wife, who's dead now, I guess, and one with my second wife.
Okay, so we have the second wife is still around, and she's an NPC.
Maybe, or she's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, but why not? Well, you need also NPCs.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't really sure if it's allowed to. Well, it was allowed to get another wife, right?
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if she's dead, you can get another one.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think even if you are a woman and your husband is dead, you can get another husband.
Yeah, but we talked about her not being dead, or am I right?
Yeah.
Ah.
So she's not dead, and that's the question. Could I marry?
Could you get divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I think
idea.
this is possible in Iceland. I think it is. Actually.
Well, it's pre-Christian too, so
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. If you have good reason, if both partners maybe even have good reason.
Yeah.
The question is, what happened to her? Like, did she leave the farm? Is she still around?
Perhaps she's outside, but on the outskirts. She's like a mysterious old woman sitting there in a hut.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. Maybe it's the Scythe Connor, even.
Yeah, I thought about this. Yeah. So now she's the Scythe Connor, but we were married once. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about what's her name? Solveig. Solveig just happens to be there.
Is that okay for you, Solveig? That the Scythe Connor is your mother?
yes, that's fine. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I was little when she left.
Yeah. Well, she's the Scythe Connor, Gida. So on the NPC tab, we added already a first NPC.
Yeah.
Which is Gida, the Scythe Connor, and the mother. And yeah, I would say she's married to the spirits in the area.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it's a good reason to get divorced. Maybe the other reason was that she didn't bear any healthy children.
She obeyed a call from the gods or something.
Yeah.
And yes, we didn't have other children than Solveig.
Who didn't turn out so well.
No.
Yeah.
So we got divorced, and I got another wife to try it again.
Maybe you had a lot of stillborn children or something, and
no, that's tragic.
Was your only child, and not still, and then this happened, and then so you get frustrated.
I came to the conclusion that our marriage was cursed by the gods, so we couldn't have any proper healthy children.
Yeah. By Freya.
Yeah.
Or who is responsible for this kind?
Freya, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Frigg. Frigg could be Odin's wife.
Yeah. And do we enter now these relationships in the sheet, because I don't see that you entered?
Yeah. On the first page, you see like from line 20 on there are the relationships, and there you enter the relationships. And I think they are all flying all over, so just feel free to enter them as soon as they are established. So who is whose daughter and everything.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and just a quick word. What is the relationship? Solveig, my daughter, and yeah, and if you see like a relationship you would like to have, but it's not in the list of your playbook of the options, still.
There's. I didn't get this. Yeah. Can I now also add a relationship to Solveig, which is another card, because I think I'm strangely, but I'm jealous of her because she's free, and my father wants to marry me all the time.
All the time, I'm trying it all the time.
Yeah, and he wants that because that the homestead can survive, we need a husband for me. This is from the table for Solveig. So, and she has no responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, have a look at the relationships offered on the Shield Maiden.
I
But as I said, feel totally free to use. I envy her
there.
freedom. Is absolutely legit.
Yeah, I shed their blood. Now it's 2 times. What's sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe there is some guy in the homestead, and I spurned him. Sports. Rejected, is it? Huh?
Rejected, yeah.
Yeah.
Rejected. Cool.
Yeah.
I have a native speaker with us. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Yeah. Then introduce that NPC and put it in the NPC tab. So we.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's from a neighboring homestead.
Cool.
I need a name. Hakon.
Look at the other NPCs already created that you have a relationship to that NPC as well, if possible. If you see 4 relationships, then just put 4 in. But 3 is like what is necessary, I would say, to have a good starting point. Yeah. And if you have something like just a relationship like my wife, it makes sense like to establish a little bit more like how your relationship is, what kind of person Dala is, maybe in love, or I'm interested, for example, if Dala is protecting Gudrun or is not fond of Gudrun.
Yeah.
What Solveig and Dala's relationship is.
Okay. Yeah. He's a Hrothgar from the. Mary was wrong. You did. That was
Mary. Mary with an E is happy. Mary with an A is to like wed someone. Like Merry Christmas is Mary with an E.
Okay. Yeah, not like Mary and Pippin.
And then the name is Mary.
Why are you? What do I miss? I don't know.
Neighboring. No, it's okay. No. I just misspelled.
Where? A neighboring. Oh, I see.
No,
That's
I'm
totally wrong.
Oh, good. Is it now right? No. Yeah, you can fix it. You can fix it.
Looks all good.
Yeah. You know what it means. So.
Okay, now it's neighbor. I guess it's right.
No worries, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have a merry Christmas. And everything. Cool. So far. Yeah. Last hope for the family. That sounds promising.
And this is also misspelled. I have no idea. No, Hakon is like this with 2A, yeah, I think.
My son brought me something to eat. However, no fork, no spoon, nothing.
Man, the service is just not up to par.
Okay, a Hrothgar from the neighboring village. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Hakon. Are you okay with your relationships now?
Yeah. Yeah, I must answer one for my mother. My mother. No, I mistrust her. That's
yeah.
because maybe she wants to marry me without my knowledge or something like this.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. Because this is also in the book. I have just all these negative feelings for everyone.
It is not in a good state at the moment.
Not a happy family.
No.
But I think I also saved the life of my father. Or
good.
do I have had saved the life of Solveig or Hrothgar?
Maybe.
Because a boar wanted to kill. Maybe of you. A boar wanted to kill you in a hunt.
Okay.
You lost your weapon, your rocket weapon, your spear broke, but I came in between and killed it with my sword.
Cool.
Okay.
And you wondered, why do I have the sword with me? It's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. Right. Then I have a good picture right now.
Yeah.
Of what is going on at the farmstead. We talk a little bit more in a moment and have it in our opening scene. I also shared with you a picture board. If you have pictures from Pinterest or whatever you would like to drop in there, you can do so. And this is like more or less how the farmstead looks like. We have a couple of more characters living like at the farmstead, which are like some thralls, like slaves who just work for us, but they stay in the background. Yeah. So you don't need to talk too much about them. But there are always a couple of more people helping us, like war prisoners who just live with us. But yeah, need permission for everything what they do. If they want to get married, they need permission by Hrothgar.
Of course. Of course.
I'm sure he's reasonable, just after he talked with Dalla.
And it makes sense that your thralls marry, because then you get more thralls for free.
For free.
Yeah. Yeah, and they might also save enough silver.
I have to pay attention that they're not too closely related.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't entered any notes yet. Is that okay?
That's okay. Yeah. This is just for your personal use or what you want to tell others about your character still.
Okay.
So
nice. I think we
here
have a nice.
We can put a picture, yes, inside this document.
Yeah. If you would like to use this, feel free to drop whatever you want, like an object, a place nearby, picture of yourself, of your character. Yeah. Cool. There we have a shield maiden.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's have a look at the man's playbook about how our farmstead looks like. Judith, if you have that in front of you, you can choose an exceptional feature that our homestead initially has access to.
Yes, I have to find the tab here. Okay. I thought about coastline providing bird seals and driftwood.
Mm-hmm. As in the picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. And one improvement.
Okay, I always have to take the smithy. There's no option, really.
Yeah.
A smithy allowing you to exchange silver for tools or weapons.
I appreciate this.
Yeah, I know. It's where you got the sword from. It was broken, but you fixed it in the smithy.
Yeah.
During a thunderstorm, there was a thunderstorm, so we didn't know that you were fixing the sword.
Yeah. Grandpa's sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then choose one of the following.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Just a negative one.
Our neighbors always covet our land, I guess. It's always the same. They're neighboring clans, and they try to get our land because our land is the best land, so they want to have it.
Yeah. Maybe even the from Hakon's family, right?
Yes. That's what I thought. Hakon is living in the clan nearby, and they tried to get the land by marriage, but now as Gudrun rejected the offer, perhaps they're coming with swords and shields. Yeah, that was your fault.
Now, we come to obligations on such a farm.
Oh, a man's obligation.
The man's obligations on the NPCs tab in column G. The obligations are listed, and I would ask each of you to pick one obligation. So we just have 3 obligations, and each of you picks one. You see that list? Yeah. Serving as a second at a duel, speaking at a ting, etc.
Obligations.
Yeah, and here I would recommend again something which is something we could build into our story for the next 2 hours, because if it's something which is too far in the future or which pushes the man away, it might be complicated. It's what the man was doing in the last months, mainly to improve the farm or make the living
I think
affordable.
You're speaking at the ting. Can I?
Me or
yeah. You.
Just put an X in front of.
X in front. Okay, yeah, you're there. That's already there.
Somewhere. Yeah.
The X. Oh, where am I?
But it's also nice raiding and stuff. It's also always nice to write.
Yeah, just write.
Okay. I'm always on the wrong tab, I guess. I see where I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe behind you can in column J also you can write like what Hrothgar has to talk about at the ting. I guess it has something to do with the failed marriage.
Maybe. Do I have to state this or Christian?
Let's Christian do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah, it's his thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Have to explain myself.
Yeah.
Although I'm not a man of words.
Oh. Good. Noella, which one do you pick?
Fostering a child.
Mm.
So, are you doing it? So we're picking all for Hrothgar, or is this for Solveig?
This is for Hrothgar. These are his obligations. We'll just make it a little bit more collaborative than it is supposed to be.
Where should I put this?
And just put an X in front of it. I've just done so. It's in column G on the NPCs tab. And behind, you could specify it, like in column J, there's space to specify which child is meant. And that would mean that we have another NPC, which should be also put into the NPC tab.
Okay. Yeah. I guess fostering a child is a social thing. The whole clan does it, so it's every one of us is responsible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And a third one by Judith.
I may try to betroth one of my daughters again, or I might join a feud. I don't know.
Yeah, the betrothal seems to be part of our story, so I would maybe keep that out of the obligations.
Okay, so I'm joining a feud. Feud? Is that? Do I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I want to know what the feud is about.
Mm. What is the feud about? I guess it's with the neighboring clans. They wanted our land. They stole cattle.
Maybe the marriage was also part of the peace treaty.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see how it goes, because the first role in the game is then about how the obligations go, if they go well or not.
Okay.
Or it is a third party.
Yeah.
Okay, as we are on the coast, perhaps there are people coming with boats, and they took cattle away or something.
It's better to have more spread it, not all at the same time. Yeah.
Cute. Blutfede.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. We already have another picture of how our farmstead looks like. I like that. In our picture board, there's another picture. And so for the landscape.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
This stuff here is where the thing happened with happens, this waterfall and this river.
There's a thing where
okay. There's a thing where
Is this close to our homestead, or is that at the Ting?
At the Ting.
Yeah. That's the Ting. Okay, so it might not play such a role in our story. Okay. Yeah. Then I won't ask you more about it, because then it stays out of our business. We have still one promise to make, Judith, which Hrothgar dares not to break. So you need to pick one of the very serious ones, which is below the others. In 18 and so on.
I always like this upholding an oath thing, because it's like a gaze in Celtic tradition where something is spoken over you and you have to keep that oath, whatever it costs. So perhaps I vowed something. Yeah. Perhaps it has something to do with my ex-wife, and I had to. Yeah, I had to swear something.
Yeah. That sounds great. Yeah. Just that you will always protect her.
Yes, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why is it not? It is secret because your new wife is not allowed to hear about it.
It does not have to be secret.
It is, but they're not speak, or? They not break. Okay, no.
You keep your word and your name, or you cross a line. Other. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is Gida.
Yeah. Protect. What was her name? Gida.
Gida. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Gida,
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's enough we can play with. It sounds all very good. Arkan from the neighboring village. And do we have a name for the Aki? Yeah, there's Hrothgar's brother Arin Bjorn's child who has died. That is the fostering word.
Okay.
Cool. So now.
Okay.
Okay, now we I would ask each of you one question about the farmstead still. Dankeschön, Milan. All right, so we have this coastline providing birds, seals, and driftwood. And so from Solveig, I would like to know how does it look like where your mother lives? And why are you the only one who is allowed to visit her where she lives? You can think about it for a moment or answer immediately.
I think it's overgrown with like bushes and grass. And she lives in like a little like a little house, but there's also a bunch of like boulders around that are grown over with moss. And I'm the only one who's allowed to visit because she hates everybody else.
She has reason to, I guess.
She's very antisocial. But remember, I forgot that she's my mom because she left when I was little, and, you know, Hrothgar isn't really forthcoming about the subject.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, important. I see. And still, you go there. And and you have a good relationship with her? Very nice. Yeah, that will be a very nice opening scene, maybe. Let's see how it goes. Then Hrothgar, the Huskarl from the neighboring village, Hakon. Like, what do you think of him? Is he? Is it actually true that he has some relationship to the people who try to steal your land?
I guess he's at his core. He would be a decent fellow to marry my daughter, but he has been spoiled by his clan, and so I think yes, the land is really what he's after, and I'm not giving it up.
Yeah. There's hope still for Hakon. He could be a good husband.
He could be if he proves himself worthy, but so far he didn't.
but I did talk you into this, that I don't want to marry him? I think so.
Yes,
but first you wanted, yeah?
I think you gave me evidence that he's involved in stealing the land or something like that, but perhaps it was fake news.
Yeah, and I could, because you like me, and I said daddy, listen.
Yes.
You're the
Yeah.
best, but Hakon is the worst.
Yes, I guess.
Okay, then Gudrun, I asked you, like, how would a man have to act like that you would marry him?
He has to. I don't tell this anybody, but he has to offer me that I can join him in a Viking raid to go to England or Ireland and see
Get some nice new slaves.
Yeah, no, see these interesting pieces and kill some people. And no, it's not about the killing, just add on. Yeah, I want to get away from this village, and I want to
travel the sea.
Travel the sea, yeah.
I see. Perfect. That would be a perfect husband. I see.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I feel good with our homestead and everything what we have said so far. Here is where we can roll dice.
Yeah, I already opened it.
Yeah,
Adds to the many tabs I've opened.
Yes.
I have also to read this manifest later.
Yeah, this is the. So now we do one dice rolling, which is the man's obligation. You can use your dice at your table if you like, or you use that tool. It's in this tool you can just pick the dice which are there or create new ones. If you select them, they have an orange color around them, and then you can press the green button, which is saying reroll selected, and it will roll them for you. New results. In the field label, you could, for example, you can create a label like where your name appears, and like this, and move that over your dice. So what most people do when they use this tool, they create the name of their character and put the two dice below the label of the name, and then you have a dice roller with separate dice for everybody. And you can also pick the color for your dice, however you like. Just in case you want to use the dice roller, but as I said, I'm totally okay if you do this and roll, because failing is as much fun as succeeding and vice versa. So
why do I have now so much? Okay, just my
I move them for you right now.
I added my name in the label, but it doesn't appear.
And then you press submit after you added your name into the label.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, it's just 2. I wanted to submit, but they are added in the total and not separately.
You only press submit once for new dice.
Okay.
And after that, you highlight, you select the dice, like, and press reroll selected.
Okay.
I remove my name and my dice here, so they're not in the way.
Okay.
Here are my, and now a reroll selected. Okay.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, me too.
It's a nice tool for all kind of games. It has an X card built in there, and it's open source. And was
Snake Eyes.
Yes, there we go. I will delete the other dice now.
Okay? Yeah.
So we have a little bit of space.
Several good runes around there.
Several?
Yeah.
Yes,
2
good runes.
I delete one.
Yeah, just delete one. Okay.
Okay.
But
Cool.
now my only good. That's strange. I have now. There it's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoop! Here you are.
How did you do this?
It's called a mouse. I used it.
Yeah,
You
mouse makes everything easier.
can just move. It's magic.
It's magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
Okay,
have
cool.
also purple dice. That is confusing.
Yeah, you can choose the color.
Yeah.
Okay.
I choose purple. I thought nobody else would choose purple. Okay.
I didn't choose anything. I just. Okay.
So a man's position in society is dependent on his obligations to his family, to his farm, to his neighbors, friends, and enemies. So at the start of the session, you choose a number of your obligations to work on, equal to your stat gendered plus 1. So up to 3 obligations you can work on. And you dare not to break one of the one you dare not to break, you should definitely choose, I would say, because if you break that one, it's very bad. And then you roll plus gendered. So in your case, it's plus 2. Because
I do not really understand what happens right now.
Okay, sorry.
Is it just for me, or does everyone have to do this? Or
no, it's this is a man's work move. So this is just you. Hrothgar now has to roll to select 2 because his value in gendered is 1, and the move says you pick 2 gendered plus 1 obligations from this list. So 2 obligations you can pick, and the others are ignored at the moment by you.
But where's the list? I'm sorry.
This is the farm's obligations which we just created. The speaking at a ting, fostering a child, joining a feud, and the one you dare not to break, which is upholding an oath.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can pick 2 of them and work on them.
Okay.
And this is the first you have to do.
Sorry, during you did looks it up. Can I check, because I see that the background story is changing my move. It would be good to be true-hearted instead of rebellious. Is it okay to change it?
Your special move? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Do so. Yeah. Feel free to make adjustments on the course of play.
Yeah.
What doesn't fit. Yeah. So you can pick 2 of the farm's obligations. It's the first step.
Then I guess protecting Gita is always very important to me, so I take care of that. And I guess I have been speaking at the ting, or I'm I don't know. I'm speaking at the ting in the future, or so perhaps
the story would begin with you returning from the ting. Then
okay. Then I took care of speaking at the ting.
Cool. Then you roll plus gendered. So plus 1 in your case. And then the result will tell us how well you do with your obligations.
Okay. Yeah, no. It's 7.
But okay. Huh?
On a 7, you get profit from at least 1. You can, so from the 2 you choose, you get profit from 1. So you pick from there always 2 in the brackets behind the obligations is always like 2 options. One is like if you make it, and one is if you don't make it. So you
that's in the brackets. Okay, yeah. I guess it was a very renowned speech I spoke at the ting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I can be a man of words sometimes at the ting. In ting time, I'm a man of words.
All right. So a renowned speech. Very good. That is something to start with. However, your upholding an oath is then not fulfilled, but also no catastrophe all around.
Okay. That's fine.
So you crossed a certain line, but it's not that everything collapses.
I had to leave the village to speak at the ting, of course, and that meant that I had to tell someone to protect Gida, and that was someone Gida doesn't like or who came too close to Gida and wasn't allowed to. So it was a thrall, I think, and I told him to protect her, but he thought I was ordering him to live at her home for the time being, and she didn't like that and threw him out and was unprotected for the time.
Okay, yeah, let's see how that goes. Because, yeah, Noella is anyway already away from keyboard, so we now take a 5 minutes break, and then we start the game with our first scenes.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
That's good.
See you later.
35. Thank you for character creation.
Hello.
Hello. He put on his Icelandic pullover.
It's getting cold in the cellar.
Yes.
Because
that sweater is from Iceland.
Yeah. And it's doubling my volume.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you see in September, that's the difference between summer and autumn. Autumn, it's really getting cold in the evening. Still, in summer, maybe.
Oh, right behind your right shoulder, there are the Viking pictures from Mia. From our adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I love it. Friedlos.
Yeah.
That's an amazing module.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
It was the last module I bought and will ever buy.
Oh, okay.
Dark Eye.
Well, that may be also a bad sign.
A very good sign, actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
we had a really fun writing it.
So cool. Yeah. Me fanboying with my players. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Cool.
For Dark, this is a Dark Eye module about Vikings on a cruise.
Yeah.
Maybe I will one day offer it at the gauntlet.
Yeah, when you do it, please tell me how it was.
Yeah. Okay, we are back, or actually for the first time in our homestead, and I'd like to have some opening scenes with each of you. And I'm looking for sure at your special moves as well. And there I see that Hrothgar, the man, has the move Feast Giver.
Mm.
And I think that's a perfect opening to bring all our characters together if you use the opportunity of returning from the Ting so successfully to,
yes.
to have a feast with the neighbors. And there it would make sense to also have Hakon around.
Yes, because I spoke at the Ting, and we, for the moment, we took the tension out of our little drama, neighborhood drama we have, and so I give a feast to bring everyone together.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Very optimistic.
And Noella, are you already back? So your camera is off, but that doesn't have to mean you are away from keyboard. No, there you are.
Yes. She moves again. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Solveig, I think for sure, Gidder, your mentor, not your mother, but your mother-like mentor, is for sure not coming to the feast. However, maybe a little bit later tonight, you might see that she doesn't have a fire set on as she has in the evening to prepare some food for herself. That might bring you into action to go to her place because nobody else can be there. But I would like to have you at the feast as well, so we are all there together and can use that move as well. Is that okay for you? That was a thrall, and we could give that thrall a name as well.
It was Hogni.
Hogni. Cool. Yeah, so Hogni is also with us at the feast.
Yes.
And thanks to your move...
Give him a Gaelic name. Okay. So he's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Gwydion. Cool. Okay, Gwydion. Let's see what Gwydion has to say. But first of all, we have a feast. And Gudrun, I mean, you have to help your mother preparing that feast. So what are you doing to prepare that feast all day long? What kind of food do we have? Is there anything special happening tonight?
Yeah. I promised to fetch some. It's summer. Yeah. So I think things maybe things maybe happen in summer. So I go into on the mountain to fetch some fruit. But I take my sword with me, and I will practice sword
just in case.
Play. Just of fun, because I get lost, and I will be late with the food. And
so difficult with her.
Dala is really angry with me, but I try to get the best of it too. But you will see that that it's quite simple. That I had to make the best of the food in this time and of the meal, but it's all the complicated stuff and the time which takes longer. I could not fulfill.
And let's start with the scene with Dala, because she picks you up if the guests are already there. Gudrun, where have you been?
Dala, I'm sorry. I lost. I got there were no of these berries. The red berries. I was looking for them, and maybe some goats ate them. So I have had to look into the other place, and now I have now just a handful of them. Huh?
You're just a bad liar. The same with you any day, every day. Your father came back from the Ting here to tell everybody here important things which all happened at the Ting, and you're not back in time.
But cooking is so boring.
Yeah. This is why you took your sword up into the mountains again.
My sword.
To protect you from the goats.
Yeah, the goats. It is, like the sheep maidens in the past. They had also swords, and it was okay, mother. It was okay for them. Why it's not okay for me? So, you know what? Try to do... I go now and prepare the meal. You can go. And
you have been a very good shield maiden. Everybody knows here, and we are very proud of you. You have been an honor to our homestead. Your father is very proud of you. But now it's time to get married. It's time to establish a good future for our homestead. You rejected Hakon, and we will learn tonight how we will proceed with this. We had invaders in our country. You are not the one. You need to find a man to protect us.
Hakon
this shall not be your job anymore.
Hakon is not the man who can protect us. I am questioning this. Yes. And he is ugly. And he's boring.
Enough of that. Enough of that.
Yes, mother.
Hakon would have been a very good husband. But you rejected him. And we will see what Hrothgar has done to save our house's honor. We will learn. And you will listen to your father. At least
I'm a better swordsman than Hakon. He can rely on me. At least if I get some practice instead of fetching berries. But yes, mother, of course, I will fulfill my duty, and now I will go and cook something.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you need to hurry up. The guests are already there.
Yeah.
I serve them some wine or some honey wine, and you will be as quickly as possible back and be a good woman in the house, a future matriarch in this house when I'm too old to keep this.
Yes, mother. I apologize for not being.
We don't know how long your father will still make it. He is an old person. No, we need to hurry up.
He's a great warrior. Na gut.
Yes, great warrior.
I go. I will bring some meat that he gets his strength again.
But let's see how you can help us here.
Yeah. Thank you, mother.
No, hurry.
I go, and I rush into the kitchen.
That is good. So, Solveig, what are you preparing? How do you help to make this feast a success?
I think I like do the decorations for like the feast hall or whatever, like set out all the dishes and put up decorations for the walls. I don't think that Dala wants me to like cook anything because maybe the guests would not like because I like look ugly. Maybe they think that eating things that I had made would be like poisonous. So I mainly set up everything.
Would you go so far and make like really an effort? Or is this more like an obligation for you?
I think it's more like an obligation, and I am kind of like, oh, why are we well, I know why we have to have this feast, but it's kind of like I have a sour personality in general.
Yeah. Hrothgar, it's easy for you to recognize that Solveig is not really making an effort. It isn't the same the first time, is it?
No, it's always the same. I indulge in giving feasts, and she just indulges in making me embarrassed. Both my daughters, really.
Your honor in question already.
Yeah. When Solveig now botched the decoration and Gudrun now botches the food, this will be no feast at all.
Why should I feel bad about embarrassing someone who's embarrassed of me?
Because I am the superior. My embarrassment is worse. Okay, I order some threads around and tell them to fix this and bring that and bring more alcohol so the guests won't notice what lacks in beauty. And
if only it could be any worse. Sorry, Solveig.
Can I use a move?
Sure.
So I have Meddler. When you spend a bond to hinder someone, you can choose to give them a bond with you. If you do, they take -2 instead of -1. Can I like intentionally like I don't know if I don't think Vikings had like elaborate setting places like in Europe, but maybe I do something. I like make the decorations like especially ugly. To embarrass him, because I know that he's trying to like impress people with this, so I intentionally like
we have large and elaborate drinking horns, and you just replace them with a tin bowls or something.
Yes, and like there's like a like a rug made from like a bear where like one eye is missing and the face looks weird, and patches of fur are missing.
My daughter's so cruel to me.
So now you have
let's see
-2.
Yeah, let's see
Okay.
where the details go. However, I was even thinking about that actually your honor is in question. And after I said that, I mean, it's a move.
Okay.
And it might happen that you also see the thrall who was supposed to watch after the Gwydion, to watch after Ida, that he is lazily lying in his corner and is playing some little games with dice, like this bone dice, with another thrall, then flirting with that other thrall, as it seems. It's embarrassing, isn't it? And so I ask you, if your honor is in question, you need to roll that move first before you give the feast.
Okay.
So
that's gendered, and I have to. It's -2 because of what Solveig did.
Let's ask Solveig which move she would like to influence. The give feast or the honor in question.
Well, what exactly is the honor in question? Like, what are we saying that?
When your honor is in question, that is because nobody is listening to the patriarch in the home. I mean, nobody seems to make an effort, or does it even worse. So it would fit.
Is this during the feast, or is this just at home?
That's
in the preparation.
In the preparation of the feast, yes.
I'm gonna wait for the feast when all the people are there.
So I roll.
Wait 1 second. Before this happens, do I see that this may happen, the honor in question stuff?
No, I think you just arrived right in front of the banquet because you were so lost in your sword play.
Yeah. Okay, then Johanna has a question.
Okay, I rolled a 6. I have, let's have a look. Gendered. 1, so it's 7.
Yeah. So
where is my move tab? Here. On 7 to 9, your word is not enough, but they will offer you a way to prove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that goes especially to your wife, because your wife is like standing in front of you and looking like the one daughter just doesn't appear from collecting some berries, and the other daughter or whatever that thing is
she's ruining everything like always.
It's like as slow as possible, and then there's this thrall flirting with another thrall. Is that by permission of you, or in a way? So this move tells us that you don't rebuke them without trouble, but your word is not enough, and but I will offer you a way to prove it.
Okay.
So when Gudrun comes, if you visit her in the kitchen and tell her how she shall behave properly tonight, then that should be enough to keep your honor in place.
Okay. I think that I might have formed some new alliances on the Ting, and that I want to introduce Gudrun to this new family, and I hope that this will be a fortunate relationship for both sides, and they are perhaps even more important than Hakon. So I tried on this feast to introduce the new family to Gudrun. So if she plays along, that might save me tonight.
Oh, that sounds good. But see how Gudrun plays with it. So, would you like to have that scene in the kitchen? Like, having a short moment, explaining who comes?
It's me or Judith?
I thought we could play that scene out in the kitchen, what you just described. Yeah.
Okay. So when you arrive at the kitchen, I saw this thralls, and I tried to order them a little bit around that they help me. And then you see that I'm slicing the vegetables, but in a really strange way. Not very efficient, more like cutting precisely, slowly, and trying to hit in a clear cut, and like you showed me when I was younger.
Did I show you?
You showed me.
Okay,
because
I should not have done this.
Yeah, you had no son, and I'm your favorite daughter. And so I didn't notice you coming.
Sword play again, huh?
Slicing vegetables, Papa.
Gudrun, this evening is really important to both of us, to all of us, really. All of us here on our farm. When I was at the Ting, I met one family that Hakon's family is indebted to. So I'm thinking that an alliance with this family might really solve a great deal of problems for us. Because Hakon's family, as they want our land, might be forced to get away from us when we forge an alliance with a more important family.
And by alliance, you mean marriage?
Of course, I mean marriage. You should not enter a duel with one of them or something like that.
But
daughter,
maybe.
Is there a but for you again?
You're
21 now. Other fathers' daughters have 5 children by now.
But other fathers' daughters don't protect their father from a boar. They didn't fight with him on his side. She locked into a shield wall. Do they?
You should never have been in that shield wall.
I am worth more than just a body bearing children.
Okay.
But father, I see this alliance. I see this alliance, father. But first have me know them, have a look at them, and do they have a boat, a dragon boat?
Yes, they have.
So it's an important family.
Yes, they already have one, or they're planning on getting one.
Is there more than one son of them? Maybe at least.
Do you want
I can choose which son I have to marry.
Okay. There are 2 brothers. The chief of the clan and his younger brother, and both of them have 1 son.
Papa, have this. Oh, all the nice horns are here. That's strange.
Why are the drinking horns here? They have to get out.
But look, I've filled this greatest drinking horn for you, a real man. And how can you think of me
as a woman?
No.
You are.
Erwarten. Expect me to marry a man which is so much lesser than the man I know, the master of this house. And I try to give him the meat that, because I know with alcohol he comes in a better mood. And I want to use this move when you entice a man.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I was so close to ask for tempt fate for Hrothgar because he was talking so much sense. But this seems like enticing now. Yes, it has turned around. Then you roll plus young, entice a man.
Okay. Okay, that's 5 plus 3 is 8.
Plus 3?
Yeah, I power gamed this.
I see. Yeah. Cool. So you're very good at young. Yeah, you're
I'm very young. Yeah.
Very healthy. 10.
21 and 16.
Yeah, so you have hold 3 over them, and you can spend your hold 1 for 1 at any time to give them -1 on a roll.
Yeah.
So after they rolled, -1 whenever you want.
Okay.
But Hrothgar can use the hold as well and reduce them by truthfully answering your questions, whatever you have for questions, truthfully answering them, giving you worthy gifts, or acting in your name and in your favor.
Oh, yeah.
But I can spend the hold by.
No, I can spend, and you can remove the hold when you do this. So you can answer questions, or you can give me a gift, or what would be my favorite to
acting in your name and favor.
And, yeah. Not to marry me to some dog.
Yeah,
it's so difficult.
And Gudrun has like a threat over you because every move you make can be turned into a failure. No. Easily, or not. It won't go so well. Let's see. However, we now come to giving a feast, right? And giving a feast is negatively influenced by your other daughter.
So nice of her. So it's feast giver. I have to roll gendered, which is okay. Should I roll already? Or,
yeah, do so.
Okay. That's a 13.
Ooh, cool.
How much did I subtract?
Yes.
2.
Then it's an 11.
Still an 11. However, now the situation looks like that it can be reduced by 3 more by your other daughter.
But,
if you want.
No, I don't want yet, because I hope for the favor or for a nice gift. A spear. Or a chainmail. No. No, I wait.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it's still a full success. That means something happened so extraordinary well at the ting. However, I still would like to hear from each of you what at the feast actually is like very disturbing for the guests who come in terms of what the decoration is. Like we had some ideas already at the table, but there's Solveig, what is like, what do the guests recognize disturbingly among the decoration?
Well, so half of my face is scarred, and so Hrothgar usually makes me like cover it with like a scarf or a hood, but I wear it uncovered at the feast to scare the guests.
Yes. And Hrothgar, what about you? What do the guests see? What is slightly embarrassing for you?
Slightly embarrassing for me. Apart from my both misbehaving daughters. She Solveig mentioned the bear rug on the floor, and she just decorated it that the misshapen head is right in front of me and in front of my the throne on which I'm sitting, or the chair. And so everyone is bowing in front of me, entering as I'm the host, and they just look at this misshapen bear. But I'm not seeing it because it's at the front of a little stair or something. It just whenever they unbow and look at me, they have the very strange. They make full strange faces, but I don't know why. There's just a rug on the floor.
Oh. And Gudrun, do you have something to add, which is what the guests find disturbing or confusing or whatever?
They come inside and see they're this a little bit irritated, and Hrothgar sitting. There's a fire pit in the middle, and there a whole pig is being cooked at the moment, and there are thralls running around and making some water on the pig, and he's sitting in a some kind of chair, or a large chair, and his wife to his right hand side, and to his left is normally standing the Hrothgar, but we have no Hrothgar, so I'm standing there with the leather armor and with the boar, with the boar, how is it called? Fell, and a coat, yeah, with the boar coat, skin, a boar skin, and in this place where normally a man stands, and this is okay by tradition because of this shield maiden thing with the round shield and the long sword, but it's unusual and it's like really old-fashioned, I think, and that is not really embarrassing, but it's slightly embarrassing because he has no son to stand here or Hrothgar to stand here.
Yes, strange looks at both of your daughters, Hrothgar. But who cares if everything goes so well? When you roll a 10+ on your feast giving, you can ask 3 questions to guests which are around from this look into your hearts list, and they need to answer truthfully. So we have quite an illustrious list of guests here. So you can ask everybody who's around. Everybody is your guest tonight. So you can even ask your own wife. There's Aki sitting on Dalla's lap. And Gwydion of Rel is busy now serving. Finally, he's doing something. And Hakon is there with his clan, and Vandrat is there with his clan. It's Vandrat is the guy who is possibly with the 2 sons and the dragon boat to be built soon. I gave him that name, Vandrat.
Okay.
Can I support this somehow in behaving like a good daughter because he told me so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a well-going feast, I would say. So.
Oh, okay.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
So you can ask 3 questions, but you could also first tell us what has happened at the Ting. What are the good news?
The good news is that I could properly articulate why Gudrun had to refuse Hakon's wish, and I discovered that during the last year, the family of Vandrat got more powerful, most powerful family in the West. And when the thing started, I'm a man who likes giving feasts, and so Vandrat and I had a little. We drank beer, and we didn't speak the truth because we are no women. But we talked a little about our families and our obligations, and I discovered that they do not like the family of Hakon. And so I decided to pitch them against each other, and that's what I did on the feast, on the Ting.
You tell all the time what your successes are in the battle and on the hunt, and what you do on Odin's feast in Valhalla in the future when you are dead.
Yes, of course. And I insulted him very much.
And how much you would drink.
Yeah, and he liked me more than Hakon's family, and so I was able to, yeah. And now I invited them both to evolve this a little bit. And I think I might talk to Hakon first, Hakon's family first, and I talk about the marriage we had in mind for our kids, Hakon and Gudrun, and I would very much like to know from him what he thinks might lift this betrothal. Is that the right word? So that both
betrothal.
Okay. So that both parties go out of this without their honor in question.
Last question: how could I get your character to?
Now I see the list. I'm a bit late today for everything. Okay, yeah. How could I get your character to lift the betrothal, but go out without their honor in question?
Yeah. Hakon has this very close moment to you. Hakon has a lot of respect for you. He has never insulted you.
Okay, good for him.
But so while you're like the feast is going on, and you're getting a little bit closer, and like, dang, you see, I know there's this Seth Connor Gidda, and my family was always worried about having somebody like her too close to the spirits of the land on the farm. And if you could publicly tell everybody that she is in a bond with the evil spirits of the land, I could convince my family that it's not a good idea to insisting on marrying Gudrun. And then everybody would accept that this wasn't a good idea from the very beginning. Just giving a little bit of hint that your land is cursed anyway. I know it better. Don't want to insult you.
No, I see. Okay.
You have two other questions?
And I have to uphold the oath that I protect Gita, but this would not. I think this. Oh, is he gone? Is Garrett gone? Where's Garrett? There's Garrett. Okay. We don't hear you.
I'm there. I'm just here to put my camera off.
Okay. Yeah, later. The second question is for the other family, the family of Vandrat. Do I know of Gudrun's wish to get aboard the dragon boat? No, that was secret. Okay. But you asked me. You asked me about the dragon boat. Okay.
I think you had, but the special wish is hard to tell. But I think there are some moves to get the truth. Yes, I think you can try to. I've at the moment no idea how, but there are moves to get it. Yeah.
I have to ask the question now. So perhaps I just ask them what does they intend to do with the dragon boat they're building.
We will go on a raid. My My younger son is an amazing warrior. Every duel he has entered, he won, but not like winning, but with all its glory. Everything what had to be done, he did. I'm very, very proud of him.
Is the boy here?
The older one will take over my farmstead. He's the one I'm interested in marrying with your daughter. The younger one will have the dragon boat.
Okay, I see where this is going. Then I might ask my younger daughter the third question. Gudrun.
Papa.
Did you hear what he was saying about his two sons?
I heard and listened. Okay. To get drunkenness, the obligation of the man today.
Okay. How would you feel about marrying the older one?
I say, you said the younger. I say, who wants to marry me has to be worthy and has to beat me in single combat.
That was so obvious. Okay, so far for the 3 questions.
There we go. Yeah, at any time, anybody can spend bonds to ask others questions. Just to mention, a feast is a good opportunity for that. And for example, Solveig also has a move that she can take something from someone and in that way gain more bonds. Again, also for that, a feast is a perfect opportunity. Or what are you most interested or worried about, Solveig? While everybody is negotiating about getting married or not and with whom.
I mean, I know that nobody is ever going to marry me, so I'm not really worried about that. But I was, when Hrothgar was talking to the person who wanted him to, like, denounce Gita as, like, kind of being evil almost, that was very disturbing to me.
I guess so.
Who is that again that wanted him to do that?
That's Hakon. That's the one Gudrun was first promised to. Yeah. And it's his way to have an excuse of removing his betrothal. Because his family would say, okay, they are cursed people. Yes, in the end, it will not be good for Gita if people talk around that she is like a witch or like causing more evil spirits to appear in the land. So maybe it would be good to see if she is okay and everything. Maybe it would also be a good moment to stop that before anything happens here at this party. What do you think, Solveig?
Yeah, I think it would be good to stop that. Maybe by doing something to make myself look bad so that he uses me as the excuse instead of Gita. Or I do something to make Hrothgar look bad.
Yeah. And no other excuses necessary anymore. Do you have an idea how to do that?
That's true. I still can't ruin the feast. Well, I would say ruin the food, but I think that's already possibly been done because Gudrun is not a very good cook.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I'm thinking something more like flashy. I have the enemy move, which is if I take something from someone, I get a bond with them. So I want to do something with that, but I'm not sure what I would take from Hrothgar.
Well, you half take already that fur that from the ground. It's half done. If you make that more visible, that plays an important role in the history, right? Because the boar nearly once killed Hrothgar, right?
Or maybe I could embarrass Hakon so that he seems to be a bad person so that we don't have to make an excuse for him. So I think, I have an idea for that. So I go over to Gudrun and I start talking to her like, "Oh, Gudrun, are you having a good time?"
You know, sister, I hate it here. I know that sounds strange out of my mouth, but sometimes it's good not always to be asked if someone wants to marry you.
Yes, I understand. Yes, it's quite boring, but I have an idea that could make things a little more exciting.
Exciting. You have always the best ideas when we were children.
I think you should challenge Hakon to a duel and show the world that he is not worthy of you.
I would do it, but I promised Dad not to do such things. But if someone would question him, then I maybe have to. Maybe when you could start something and then I could then challenge him.
Of course.
But otherwise Dad will be really angry.
Yes,
and I want you not to lose his face. So, but I want Hakon to lose his face, and I would to beat the shit out of him. So when you can start something, maybe when you get him to insult you, then I can say, no, don't do this.
So I'm gonna walk over to Hakon and I'm gonna use entice a man.
Oh, that direction. Interesting. Yeah. I thought of goat, but enticing seems legit as well. Yeah. So entice a man, then you roll plus young. And how do you entice Hakon? Although you are not. Well, it seems because you have this one move, it seems that men are somehow attracted to you in some sense.
Well, so I got an 11, and I think I have +1. I have 1 young, so I got a 12. And I'm doing this because, you know, I am very, like, I am, like, considered to be, like, very ugly. So, and also I could do it where, so it's, like, kind of weird that he's, like, coming on to me, but then I could also take it on, like, as an insult to my honor or something. And then my sister can defend me.
Defend your honor.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, how is he reacting towards you? Like when you and how is this enticing look like?
I think, like suggestive touching, and like he starts suggestively touching me, and then I kind of like pull away and like make noise and say like, ah, like be very dramatic.
Oh yes, yeah. So he can spend your hold by acting in your name and favor, and by truthfully answering your questions. And I think we are very close that he's like giving you more than just answering questions,
Yes,
but truthfully into you and giving you worthy gifts. And yeah, and he, oh, seems to like maybe it's a little bit the honey meat, but maybe it's like this suggestive touching here and there. This is like for a man who is like waiting for his bride for so long. It's like I am in a very special situation here. Hrothgar is not watching at the moment. It's like my opportunity. Whew.
So Gudrun, now is your chance to enter the situation.
Did you just touch my sister? What did you do? Questioning the honor of my father in his house?
And that is the moment when he was like having accidentally, or not so accidentally, having ripped off part of Solveig's dress and have it in his hand.
You pig! First you tried it with the one daughter and now the other? You thought her just because she is she's not watched by her father, she's easy prey, do you?
Wait.
You know what? I am questioning your honor. Of course, my father could beat you and throw you outside his house. But I will meet you. I will beat you, and you will be embarrassed by be beaten by a woman.
Hrothgar, you are back any minute.
Outside.
Like with your senses. However, Dala is like going, stop here, Dala, the wife of the patriarch. Stop it! Stop it all! Nothing has happened. This thing's honor can't be questioned because she's not even a real woman anymore. Look at her. No man would want her. This can't be true.
How could you say something so cruel?
This is just the truth.
She's the same woman. She's as a woman as I am a woman. Maybe the
Hrothgar, tell us. Stop these women that they talk here over you. Hrothgar.
Okay. Hrothgar is a bit doesn't really know what to do, but he's trying to get rid of Hakon anyway. So I think I would like to throw an insult at Hakon.
Woohoo!
I jump out of my seat and then I say, "A swine indeed he is."
Okay, roll plus gendered. Say what they lack. Well, being a swine is something, yeah.
So gendered is 1. I rolled a 9, so it's a 10.
That's a 10. On a 10 plus, they choose 1. Well, if nobody wants to change that result, because I think Gudrun still has 3 holes on you.
No, I need them maybe. I want my single combat, so.
Okay, I can choose if they bear the insult and confirm its truth thereby, or if they act to prove otherwise.
Yeah, and the one who is insulted can choose.
Okay.
And so I can act to prove otherwise, or I bear the insult, confirming its truth in everyone's eyes. Oh, that is embarrassing, but we are here in a very delicate situation, and so I will bear the insult, yes. Well, you didn't give me this one daughter, so I think it's all right if I get a taste at least from the other one you didn't offer to me. Huh? So it's totally okay what I did.
Okay,
now let me get out with her. So like, you come with me. Entice me enough.
Gudrun has still this that I can act in her name and favor to spend the hold. And so the only way for me to do this is to grant her the duel now. So I say to Hakon, you might get away with my daughter, but there might be another daughter who stands in your way. As soon as you get across, as you get past her, you can have the other one.
And so Vandrad is getting up and says, Here. You can't get away that easily here. You have been cast for a duel. And Gudrun has proved herself as being a warrior herself. She will defend her sister's honor here.
I stand up and straighten and draw my sword.
Let's get out. And Vandran comes to you, Hrothgar, and says, this is first blood only, isn't it?
I would suggest breaking 3 shields, like in the 13th warrior.
Okay, of course it's breaking 3 shields. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Let's hope that you survive this.
Good, yeah. So while you all go out, so like, you see that a shadow quickly passes by and disappears into the separate room where the kitchen area is. If you were not completely wrong, this must be Gida. What is she about to do in the kitchen?
Well, so like, Hakon ripped my dress, so like my whole like chest is exposed. So I'm gonna follow her into the kitchen under the pretense of getting a coat or sewing it up.
Okay, and while the duelants are getting ready,
I give a nod in the direction of Solveig to see that I respect, that she sees that I respect her honor and the honor of her father, because the honor of the daughters is the honor of the father.
Yes. So let's see, like, outside the duel is getting ready with torches and everything, and getting sufficient space between the duelants, and praying to the gods for an honest fight, and that everybody's honor will be restored at the end through the fight. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Solveig, you meet Gida. She never comes down here, and suddenly she is there. And she sees you coming in, and she has something to hide under her coat suddenly. Solveig, shouldn't you be with the others?
Oh, I ripped my dress.
Oh, he has done that. was Hakon.
Yes. Gudrun will put him in his place.
Yeah. You know that the time has come that things will be changing here.
What do you mean, Gita?
Your sister will get married. And somebody else will take over the rule over the farmstead soon. Because your father won't live much longer anymore. You need to take precaution for the two of us. You and me, we are endangered here. We are not safe anymore. If this proceeds as planned by Dalar and her weak husband, your father, he's not the same anymore.
But Gudrun would protect me. She loves me.
Gudrun knows how to fight, and she loves a good fight more than she loves you, I have to tell you. She will go out on a raid and will never come back again one day. We need somebody else to protect us, to keep us strong. Let me do what I have to do here.
I don't understand. What are you doing?
She opens her coat and has some substance with her. Talking about poison. Huh?
What are you doing?
Do you hear the swords outside? Blood will flow. It shall not be ours. Not yours, not mine. Go outside and take care that nobody enters the kitchen for a moment, okay? Just let it happen.
Okay. So I think I walk out in front of the door and like find like a coat or something that's hanging on the wall next to the kitchen to like cover myself up.
This is something ungodly Gita is doing. I think you are tempting fate here, doing something taboo at the moment. Would you roll for me? Tempt fate. Fortunately, you are a monster and are very good in tempting your fate.
Is that plus weird?
That is plus weird.
So I got a 9.
You pull it off, but the fates gain a bond with you, and the MC can spend it on their behalf at any time. So a bond I can reduce or +1 or -1 any roll, or I can look into your heart whenever I want. I might do that at some point in time. Outside, however, the duelants are getting ready. Hrothgar, what is your feeling here? Will this go well?
Yes, I have. I'm confident that that Gudrun will show Hakon. Will show Hakon, and let's have a look. No, I don't know if there's a move I can make, but I think that what's his name? Vandrat is present, and Vandrat is watching very closely, and I look forward to him seeing what my daughter can do, because she is the offspring of my family. She's the protagonist of my saga, and I will show him that she's worthy to be his daughter-in-law. Marrying material, really, yeah.
Vandrat looks very satisfied, because for sure he wants to see if Gudrun is a good catch for his family. And also you see how his gaze is going all over your farmstead, because this will all be his soon. This is the impression he gives.
This is the impression he gets, but I want him to realize that Gudrun is too strong to just be a walking womb, and I want him to realize that he has no right to own my farmstead, but that I will be something like his partner. My family will be the partner of his family. It's not about swallowing my family and my farmstead.
Yeah, the duelins are still getting ready. They put protections on. They have there's like some powder on the ground to signal where the ring is in which the fight will happen. And so you still have some time. Yeah, and Vandra is not making it easy for you, as it seems. Like he's talking quite the opposite. He's asking about all the details and about your farmstead, and he seems to know quite a bit about it already, which is nearly making you suspicious. And then I still have a bond with Solveig, and I would say I would like say Solveig. I would like to know from you, what do you think who Gita wants to kill with her poison, and who do you hope she doesn't want to kill?
So I think that she's going to poison Dala because, you know, she's like the perfect wife that Ida never was, and also she thinks that Dala is going to, like, once Hrothgar dies and Gudrun gets married, that she's going to, like, put me out. And I hope she's not trying to poison Gudrun, because even though, like, our relationship is not great, I do love her. She's like the only person that I love, because I hate Hrothgar, I hate Dala, and I don't know Gita is my real mom.
Isn't that boring that Gita has so many good reasons to actually kill Gudrun tonight with her presence? It's quite worrying, yeah. But maybe it's just Dala. Let's see. Vandran is like, yeah. So, will Gudrun take over immediately here? I mean, you were talking about being partners here, but I don't see, I mean, you're not even fight for your daughters anymore, but let your daughters fight for you. So you have already handed over your farmstead to Gudrun, it seems, huh?
No. I am a man without sons, that's true. And so I educated my daughters. One of them in weapons and one of them in wits. And Gudrun, this is a great opportunity for Gudrun to show what's inside of her and what's she capable of. I'm not handing over the farm because she's more a warrior than a farmer.
Oh, that I could taste tonight, that she's not a farmer, yeah. And the one with the wits, do they always have to be ugly at the same time?
It appears so. Isn't it even with the gods that the clever ones are ugly?
There's some truth in it, yes, yeah. But I'm happy that all my sons and daughters look beautiful and are capable of handling a farm.
Oh, then there might...
Some of us, fate is on their side and others not, huh?
Of course. But it's good when the gods put everyone in their place. And if your sons and daughters can do both, then there might be... they might argue over which role to fulfill. Maybe I'm talking too much sense, I think.
Well, you could also see your honor in question, or you throw an insult at another man again. That's up to you. You could also consider an uneasy situation here for. So it's totally up to you how you interpreted this. It was too good of a dialogue to interrupt it.
Yes. Yes, I think that has been an insult to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
roll.
You roll plus gendered.
Ah, it's only a 7.
7. Does anybody want with their bonds bring that to a 6, or even up to a 10? No.
I want to bring it up.
Oh,
I want to
you can't.
increase it because
with a
family is important today, and
it's all about
However,
you dueling.
yeah.
Yeah. However, you have only enticed your father, so you can only bring him down.
No, but I can use
Your
my no. But I think it's okay because I'm not enticed him anymore because he gave me the opportunity for the duel. But I can spend the bonds to give him my bonds to give a bonus for him, or
You can when you
Indeed,
assist when you assist or hinder someone's action.
yeah.
Your bonds.
Which you indirectly do.
Yeah, I want to spend.
However, you only have 1 point, right?
Yeah.
So
no,
with
then,
1 point,
then it's not helping. Yeah.
Yeah, with 1 point, you only bring it up to an 8. That doesn't make a difference.
No, then I do.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, the insulted can instead choose one of these. They attack you here and then. They challenge you to a duel later.
One duel after the other.
Or they demand an apology. And
it would be really nice when he attacks now, and then I could play a move to rush into protection because I have a true heart.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more the feasting kind of patriarch. I'm sturdy and good-natured, and he sees that. He's really more athletic than I am and better in combat. And when I accuse him that his daughters and sons will fight each other over his farmstead, he takes
was too
the sword.
much.
Yes, that's too much for him.
And Vanguard takes his sword out with the knob of his sword, he's like pushing you up to the sternum, like directly here.
And I
Last word here. This might be your home, but there's no reason for you to further insult me and my family on this. We will take over here anyway very soon. What do you think you still have to say on this farmstead? Your daughter has taken over.
In this moment, I crash into him.
Everybody hears it.
I crash into him in this moment. As he says, with the shield, I push him back and stand between my father and him. Shield up, but not the sword drawn. And I want to play the move True Heart.
True Harm.
Yeah.
Well, he's not that far that he would put directly grave harm, but could easily.
True
enter.
Heart. True Heart.
True Heart.
That's okay.
But it says like when you put yourself between someone and grave harm.
Okay.
However, we can easily imagine that it gets into that direction of grave harm easily.
Okay.
So I would say you can roll that move. So you roll plus young.
Irgendwie. Oh no, that's not true. I'm so bad. It's a snake eyes, so it's a 5.
You both endure grave harm.
Oh, I'm so good at this in young. Oh no.
So yeah, tell me what happened. What went so wrong that actually with you interfering, both of you, your father and you, got seriously injured?
I stand there and I think that's normally enough to put him into his place. Normally I'm a good shield maiden, but he is I'm asking Freya, I'm asking Thor to protect me and my father from to give me strength. I'm asking Freya to protect the virginity of me and my sister here, but it's all for nothing because he when I push him back and I hit him in the head with the buckler of my shield, he's a berserker and he gets angry and he gets foam in his mouth, and then he puts out his he throws his shield and his sword and smashes my shield again, and then his sword breaks, but then he takes his axe, his Dan axe, and smashes my shield and injures me and kicks me aside, and then he strikes a blow to Hrothgar and hits him before his men come and can tackle him down to that he gets.
So like,
yeah,
there is a hand on your shoulder. It's Gida, and she says, "Wait here. Maybe everything will solve itself." What will you do, Solveig?
Did she walk away, or is she still there?
We still have to resolve the endure grave harm, so we're just in that very moment the attack happens. And Gida is next to you, yes.
I kind of say, I have to go see what happened. So I kind of like run into the hall.
Yeah. And see what is happening. And what do you do there?
I run to Gudrun.
Okay. Then let's see how the endure grave harm works out. First of all, Hrothgar, how do you handle that hit? Okay. Either when you endure grave harm, roll plus young.
Young, yeah. Okay, I'm not really young. It's a 4.
On a miss, it's fatal. Beyond help.
Yeah, this is how it goes. His axe first splits Gudrun's shield, and then he breaks through and hits me on the head with the blade of his axe, and I topple over. Blood is everywhere.
Who's coming to you in your very last moments? Who's with you?
Gudrun is there. I don't know yet if it's fated or not. And let's see. A little Aki is coming. I had to take care of him, but he's afraid that everything will change now. He's crying.
He's crying. Let's see how Gudrun is doing, and then have a look again. Gudrun, can you also roll in your grave harm?
I mistrust really this dice now, but let's see.
Looks better for you.
Now it's 11. Why was it 11 before?
Now on 11. On an 11, you pick 2 from the list. And it's a list which has like negative consequences on the one you don't take. So will it get better on its own? Will it not leave a permanent mark, or will it give you a purpose? 2 you can choose.
It will give me purpose. And it will not leave a permanent harm, but it will not get better on its own.
Okay, cool. It gives you a purpose. It means you gain 2 bonds with whomever you consider responsible.
Responsible is okay. I could say Hakon. Could also be Solveig, but in the end, the responsible person is how was it in his name?
Vandran.
Vandran, yeah.
Or Vandrat, yeah.
Yeah.
Vandrat.
It's Vandrat.
Vandrat. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's busy with his foam around his mouth, but there's your father next to you. And Solveig, what are you doing? Aki's running there.
I
I think I like try and get Aki to come to me because I don't want him to like see. Well, obviously he can see the body, but I don't want him to like realize he's like dead quite yet because Aki's so little. But I think Aki is scared of me.
Yeah. He's scared of you, indeed, yeah. And then there's your father bleeding to death, and Gudrun and Wolfrid.
I have his head in my lap, and I'm crying and saying, "No, stay with us, stay with us." And I'm bleeding from one wound, but I didn't notice it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like Vandrad and his men are quickly leaving before everything solves.
I take my sword. I take my sword and give it in the hands of Hrothgar, that the Valkyries will see that he died in battle, and then that he has his sword in his hand, and that the Valkyries bring him to Valhalla, that he may feast on Odin's side.
Oh yeah, Hrothgar, what are your final words?
I look up to my two daughters and I say, "It's too soon. You're not ready. I wish I had a son."
Oh, that's...
Hakon is about to leave as well. And there might still be poisoned drinks for certain family members in the kitchen, but the time has come for our game to end.
But I want to...
We will still have an epilogue for each of you.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a dramatic feast. Again, epilogues for everybody. And in this case, order is very important. So Gudrun, if you already have something in mind you would like to push and you think it could happen first in the order of the epilogues scene, so keep this epilogue like you just describe what happens and establish in the fiction as much as you want. And so one after another has one chance. It could be tonight, next day, next year, or wherever you want.
I will, when they go, I would stand up with my broken shield. The corpse of my dad is lying before me, and before they all leave, I say, "I know that you will come again, like the crows, to feast on this homestead. Now that the last man is gone, but know that we will wait here with swords in hand, with spears, and with shields." And I throw ice to Dala that she please shut up. "We are just women, but we will defend this. And let it be known, when somebody wants this, he has to defeat me in single combat. And he will get my hand. I hope that then they will not come with a raiding party, but that they will try this, and this way I will try to protect the homestead." And I say, Solveig, now I think at the moment we need a strong person here to run this homestead, and till I'm married, I think you should do this, as you have the inner strength to do this, like a man. Yeah, and then we will see what happens.
Yeah. So maybe Hrothgar is representing the farmstead goes last. So I would suggest that Solveig tells us what happens to her.
Well, as much as Solveig wants to like run away and live in the woods, Gudrun wants her to run the homestead, and it's just kind of a taste of power and respect that she's never had. So I think she kind of takes up the mantle of running the homestead and raising Aki like as her own son. And I think she attempts to get Gita to come and live with them down in the homestead. Although I think she's unsuccessful, but she's like continuously asking her, like, come down, live in the homestead so we can protect you. Like, you can still go up in the woods anytime you want, just come live with us.
Hrothgar, what do you see from Valhalla?
I see that at first my my homestead, my home, becomes smaller and less, becomes more helpless. And it seems to be a futile fight at first. But Solveig raises Aki, and although I guess my other daughter, Gudrun, will stay in the village for some time and will try to defend it, but sooner or later she will go off on a raid with a dragon boat, and she will die. She will not come back. And so it's Solveig's and Aki's heritage that this homestead thrives in the future.
Indeed, yeah. And Dala disappeared in that night as well, didn't she?
Yes.
Was there poison involved? Nobody knows. Maybe it was just a heart attack and the sadness in her heart because her husband died, which made her disappear. Who knows?
I have to know one thing from Hrothgar. When Gudrun dies, she dies with a sword in her hands, but she's a woman. Will she go to Valhalla or not?
She will go to this Valkyrie place. there is a Valkyrie place. There is a place where that sheep maidens go.
So we all never see each other again.
No, you don't come to the Great Hall of Valhalla.
No.
No. Well, I have a feast, one feast after the other.
Yeah, and even Solveig will go to another place for the women not fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, we have been united in life, but we're separate in death.
Tragic. Okay.
Thank you all for playing Sagas of the Icelanders. Cool.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Yeah, we are already over time, but still, if you like to have like a quick round of feedback, if you have time for that, I would be grateful. It's late already for you, Christian and Judith, right?
Yeah, but it's okay. We usually, this is our RPG evening normally, but it's the round was not coming together, and we always are staying up too long.
We're used to late Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then I will just quickly ask you one after another how it was for you, and one moment you especially enjoyed about the game itself, and what I always like to ask is if there's something you see reflected in your real life, in your real person, like something which is coming to your mind or could stick with you from the game. If there's something like this, and I start by saying, well, in this game, I found it again very interesting. Like household dominated somehow by women, although we had a strong man, and that I found very interesting. That there was like a great mixture, like where you could like you saw the traditional roles, but you could also see how it was like a pendulum swinging a little bit below. So there was a fixed angle and an open angle. This is somehow how I would describe that game in comparison also to these many other Sagas games I had seen before, where it was either both totally flexible or very rigid.
Okay.
That I found interesting. Christian, what do you have to say?
I found also really interesting, like it reminded me of I think Judith told me about, she heard about some car accident or she saw, maybe, you can't comment on this, where between a traditional family from Saudi Arabia, I think, and there are just the man is allowed to drive, but he had a car crash, and the woman was outside and she was shouting at him because, okay, he may be in charge, but the woman in their restrictions still maybe have some power inside the family, but outside the family, the man has to represent the family. So he has the power, but somehow that book was it? Okay, thank you. And that was really similar here, because you have also the responsibility for people who have their own will, and and I cannot believe that I botched this last time. I was really good at this, but I think that is really how Sagas, as I remember, feel. That you think, okay, they have the control, they are really heroes, and then bam, and what they really can perform, and they're just failing. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Thank you. Judith?
First of all, thank you all for playing and GMing, or whatever the right term is. I think it was it felt very Norse, so that was funny. Oh, that was great. And for me, the best moment was when we all botched this survival thing, because it built up to more of some kind of plot. So family plotting against each other. But then there was just this man going berserk, and there was nothing I had to do, I could do against it. And I decided at first that the man was not a very that he was not very skilled on weapons, or that he may be too old to be a fighter. And so this was just the best death for him. He was trying to do the best by acting, but he couldn't fight, and it was all reduced to fighting in the end, because it's a Norse saga. Yes. Can I take anything out for my real life? I think it was interesting that Christian played the Shield Maiden, because I knew he would do this. He told me in advance that he was not really looking forward to playing the woman or the matriarch. And so the Shield Maiden is some kind of a quite male role, I think. And because Noella played the monster, which is also very fluid in a way, or not seen as a real woman. So it's like you say, it's the very rigid part of the patriarch, of the man, and then there are these two women who are very flexible around him. It was interesting.
Noella?
I mean, I thought all of the characters were really interesting, and I've never played a game that had kind of these strict gender roles before, like we were talking about before this, and I thought it was interesting how in this session we kind of played with that with our characters. And Garrett, I thought you did a really good job with the NPCs. And then in relationship to my real life, it was interesting because when I made the bonds with Gudrun, I was kind of going for a little bit more of an antagonistic relationship between the two sisters. But then when we started playing, it turned out much more into a collaborative relationship. And I guess obviously there's things that I don't like about my sister, and that I get mad at her about, but when we're together, we still, even though we fight a lot, we still end up being collaborators in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's nicely changed. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's interestingly, for example, I would say, by the way, about the Shield Maiden, if the duel would have started, she would have had the problem that she has to tempt fate because she doesn't have the physical challenge move, and that would have turned also very badly. So because if you don't have a high stat in weird, then yeah, it can easily go wrong and lead to endure grave harm. Yeah, and so that is. Yeah, tempt fate. Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So Solveig once rolled tempt fate, and that was the one moment. But it is something to avoid, because if it is connected with physical challenge or something where you could harm yourself, the next roll would be endure grave harm, and then you're dead. So
that was the reason I was really happy that this fight turned out between the two yards, because I thought, now I can do my stop the duel and do my my good move, this good heart, but it was it was was botched. And I think it's what's not so easy, but I like this about the Shield Maiden is, you want to do this sword stuff, but you still have justice moves, and you want to still fit into this family tradition. And I tried this, and that when at some point you went to break out, and then you have to duel because it's too much. And you think, okay, I don't want to play by your rules. I want my own rules.
Yeah, very lovely. Yeah, thank you for picking Shield Maiden and Monster against my recommendations because it made a very good mixture. Yeah, but I think still it's very good to have the man. If the man is an NPC or not around, even if there's just a void, if the man disappeared on a raid or something, I already had that. It is possible, but somehow you're talking around the man without having that role, and then the MC becomes too important. I think. And I like it to have like an antagonistic man coming from one side and challenging the man in his role. That is some of the stuff I love most about Sagas, to have this insights. Maybe that is something I can reflect into my real life, because yes, I sometimes pretend to be not so masculine, but I deep in my heart I'm deeply infected with toxic masculinity. And I see that in these moves all the time. Yes. Your honor is in question. Whoa, I do something stupid. No. It's awkwardly honest in that sense.
But I think the hard thing is here that the man, that you cannot question the honor of the females, because in this context they have no honor, and that is hard thing. Yeah, this is.
It is. It is very interesting. Yeah. If this was a saga, I would love to continue to play on this farmstead. I can very well see Solveig now playing the man playbook, for example, because this is how. Why attach, even at Viking times, we don't know much about them, but I think attaching gender to biology was something they were not so focused about than maybe our society nowadays. It still is. So it would be, for example, very interesting to see how that would turn out.
Either the man or the matriarch.
Or the matriarch, But I could even imagine the man, like being with the man, the male moves and everything even on it.
But because if you want to, we could do this. Maybe then you maybe will play another character.
I will play the dead man.
Dead man.
Indeed. So I don't know about schedules, but we can discuss that later. Because we're traveling to Mexico in a couple of weeks, and then there's Gauntlet Con. But I would like to continue this with you. It's a lot of fun, and I very much enjoy, Judith and Christian, that you know a little bit more about Icelandic traditions, and Noella, you are also very knowledgeable about this, as it seems. So maybe we should even.
I like Norse mythology, so I know a little bit.
Yeah. I felt that. I know that. I had immediately the impression that I knew the least at the table. So.
Oh no, I don't know.
Which is totally good. I love it.
I even put my Odin T-shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so cool.
Oh, Celtic, yeah.
I have my Celtic T-shirt
Yeah.
on.
Great. I've
So
only Star Wars stuff.
I was either going to do the monster or the thrall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thrall is interesting
Thrall
as
could
well.
also
Yeah,
be interesting, yeah.
with Celtic. Yeah. I stopped the broadcasting here in 1 second.